Give a shit. Listen up, everybody. I see a video of you getting shot in the fucking neck or shot in the fucking face. Guess what? I'm gonna smile every fucking time.
The world has become a stranger place ever since Charlie Kirk's assassination just under a week ago occurred. And what many people saw as horrible and a degradation of our country's values, some people decided to jump on and turn it into a celebration. Real nice. And while the internet is having different reactions to those individuals celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk being fired from their jobs because they celebrated a assassination, there's no other word for it, well, other people are saying this is just the second half of the equation when you f around and find out. And unfortunately, some of those people posting on social media celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk are military members. Not a good look. And Secretary of War now, Pete Hegseth, agrees and says, hey, maybe if you're going to swear an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States and wear the uniform or whichever branch you're in, you probably shouldn't be celebrating political assassinations.
Message.
And so today, I'm going to show you some of the absolute pieces of trash who actively serve defending the Constitution of the United States and people's First Amendment rights, I guess, that thought that supporting political assassinations while currently serving in the United States military was a good idea. Hey, you wanted attention? Now you're gonna get some of that attention. But first, a word from this video's sponsor, Fume. Ever feel like you're stuck in a bad habit just cause it's convenient? I get it, and that's why I tried Fume Zero, a single-use flavored air device with 0 nicotine, 0 batteries, and 0 vapor. It's not a vape, it's something totally different. It's simple, you pick it up, you draw it through your mouth, you enjoy the flavor, and that's it. No spark, no charging, just pure flavor and a satisfying, fidgety feel. And it's just $24.99. Way more affordable than some other habits. I personally enjoy crisp mint, but there's tons of flavors for you to choose from. Raspberry, peach blush, mango, whatever fits your vibe, man. Fume Zero starts at just $24.99. It's the simplest way to enjoy flavored air. 0 nicotine, 0 vapor, just natural flavor and a better habit to reach for. Try it now at tryfume.com/product/fume-0 or scan the QR code right there. Now, before I get started, let me answer some questions for you. Once you join the military, you don't have the same First Amendment rights that a civilian has. Trust me, I'm somebody that's been through enough investigations because I said an officer's name in a video, even though they might have done something wrong and stupid, because as an enlisted man, I still have to adhere to a universal code of military justice, customs, and courtesies. I have to make sure that the chain of command isn't being torn down by some of the things that I say. And sometimes that boils down to the simple things of you don't get to say the officer's name, or say that they're dumb, or say that you wish that they were, because that would degrade good order and discipline. And if you want to degrade good order and discipline in the military service, well, one way might be promoting or siding with and supporting terrorist acts causing the assassination of a political opponent. And in case you're too dumb to understand what I'm saying, if Jesse Jackson was shot in cold blood by an assassin, and then a bunch of military members started posting racial epithets about his death, you would say, hey, those guys support a terroristic act. They probably shouldn't be in the military defending our Constitution, considering that that goes directly against our Constitution. So yeah, kind of a big deal when you decide that you're going to show support for a terroristic act silencing political foes with assassination. Some would call that fascist. So now that I've kind of given my baseline for what's going on, let's get into some of these military members that have said some dumb things. Shall we? Well, here's Hayes Barber serving in the United States Navy, and he decided that he would make a long post on Instagram. Ham Gone Ham is his name. Wow, you really sure have gone ham. Well, he starts off his little post that says, and be clear, call my command. All right, bud, I guess we will. Well, what is it that you're saying that's getting people so upset that some people might say is, I don't know, supportive of a terroristic act and the assassination of a political rival? He was not an elected official. He was a violent, hateful bigot who built a platform specifically to push an agenda that endangered multiple marginalized groups. He was a Nazi and a Christian nationalist. He was a threat to American democracy, and I'm fucking glad he's dead. Not only am I allowed to say this, I have a moral obligation based on the oath that I swore. Well, you see, it's your horrible nature where you perverted that oath. You see, bud, what you're not allowed to do while serving in the United States military is support political assassination of people that don't see eye to eye with you. And let me give you an example, because you're obviously too dumb to understand what your oath is. When it comes to protecting the constitutional rights of people, it's not for the ones that you just agree with, you stupid fascist cat. And I mean that literally, and you're a fascist, because you are legitimately saying, I'm glad that that murder, that assassination of a political rival happened, so that he could be silenced and nobody could hear his opinions anymore. Geez, where does it say that in the Constitution? That we need to support that in the Constitution? Where in the oath that I took and swore every time that I re-enlisted does it state I have to support the political assassination of my rivals? So you know what, bud? I hope somebody gets a hold of your command. Wait a second, do you hear that? Well, it's the Secretary of War making a tweet over there on X. And what does he have to say? Well, he's going to be looking into all of these accounts and all these military members showing support for the political assassination of an American citizen. That's right. Have we all forgotten that this guy is an American citizen? Let alone the fact that if you support killing a political rival, that could very well come back on you, dude. It's almost as if these people are so narrow-minded that they forget that if you allow the assassination of somebody that you disagree with spouting words, whether or not it's of hate or love or peace or war, if you support the killing of that person because they disagree with you, what's to prevent the other side from thinking the same way? Oh, hey, that Navy guy thinks opposite of me and he supports political assassination. Well, I guess if I believe what he believes and we're on the same even footing, then I should be able to murk him. Maybe that's why we don't think that way. But hey, bud, can't wait to see you kicked out of the military because you're a fascist piece of shit. And that's not just saying a word, you literally are a fascist because you believe in executing people that think differently than you. Boom! Roasted! Next! Let's go back onto IG with somebody that's got, 575 followers. Good thing you posted this out there to all of those tens of people. Captain Williamson, USMC, Marine Officer Recruiter. Well, that's great. Let's just see what a Marine Captain Recruiting Officer has to say about this. Another racist man popped with the cheers and obviously a photo of Charlie. That's fantastic. We've got another officer here saying that if he disagrees with you politically and thinks that whatever you say is racist, well, you deserve to get popped. Way to follow your oath there, kid. Glad to know that some guy sitting in the middle of an auditorium in a college having a discussion with people, that is such a threat to you and your fragile fucking brain that you need to celebrate the death of an American. You realize that there's men that you serve with that are under you, that look up to you, that might have similar ideas as Charlie Kirk. Not saying racist ones, I'm saying, you know what, the family is something that we should really get behind. You know, the breakdown of the American family is one of the downfalls of the United States, and we need to rebuild that family. Or maybe giving puberty blockers to 8-year-olds really isn't the thing. Once they become of age, then they can choose to do it with their own body. But once they're below that age of consent for sex, you probably shouldn't give them a bunch of drugs. According to the captain, you could just get murked for that, and that's totally fine because you're obviously somebody that he disagrees with. Awesome! The Officer Corps, celebrating an assassination? Jesus, could you imagine if modern day MLK got murked and all of a sudden your commander was just like, good thing that black guy's dead, huh? Spouting off stuff about equality, people being the same, and we need to love one another, treat each other with respect. We don't you bullshit like that. How comfortable would you feel if you were under that leader? Oh, but you can do that. You can do that. That's okay, right? Because you're a Marine officer, so you can support assassinations. Okay. All right, idiot. And right now, my understanding is that I believe that he's currently suspended. Good. You should get the fuck out of the military. Oh, and what about an airman? Let's get an airman in on this, huh? We're going for every freaking branch today. Hey there, Airman Smith. What do you got to say about this? Oh, the chickens came home to roost, huh? So saying words while chilling out at a college campus having absolutely no physical threat to anybody at all is totally acceptable to take that guy out with the bullet. It's totally okay to violently react to somebody saying words. right? What about tweets? Maybe people that are reading your tweets that see that as an act of violence against them could act out on you, huh? Maybe that's your chickens coming home to roost. Oh, but we don't see things that way. It's only the people we don't like that we have to apply the rules to. And let me tell you, I love it when they put smiley face emojis in their little responses and in their posts and comments, because then it tells me exactly what your emotions are. You, Airman Smith, are happy that he's dead, killed because of his political beliefs, doing absolutely no violent acts whatsoever. You're happy. I love that. That shows me intent. So then that way, when you go up to your supervisor and they're like, hey, you were celebrating this guy's death, and you say, no, I wasn't. I was just talking about how, I saw things and blah, 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 and I didn't have any joy or happiness in there whatsoever. And they can hold up a photo of your fucking tweets and your comments and go, then why you got smiley faces all in it? Then why are you looking so happy? Disgusting. Get out. Everybody say hi to Guillermo. Hey there, Guillermo. How you doing? Looks like officer rank on your chest. Can't tell if you're a major or not. Boy, that would be insane. Let's read what you wrote. Ladies and gentlemen, the Constitution exists to protect you from government persecution. It does not protect you from being held accountable for your actions by other people. If you choose to make a living by actively talking crap and pissing people off, you should expect for someone to want to hurt you someday. No, bud, no, that is not how the Constitution works. The Constitution isn't just a thing that protects the government or us from the government. It also tells us our individual rights from one another. Like the First Amendment, I have the right to speak. That means that another person, including a government, can't stop me from speaking. That means an individual's rights don't trump my own just because they have a different view or opinion. And it's very confusing when you say that if you make a living talking crap, you should expect somebody to hurt you. No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't. That's absolutely not what you should expect. If you're sitting around having a political dialogue with somebody and they might disagree with you vehemently, that doesn't mean they get to get up, pull out a pocket knife, and then stab you in the chest a couple of times. But for your logic, somebody going around and talking shit is enough for you to pop them in the face. Well, Guillermo, I really hope that you're not that short-sighted, because other people could read that and say, well, this guy is supporting the assassination of an American. How could this guy possibly serve? We should probably fire him. That's the way that I would see it as, right? Because fuck around and find out. You said something that's pissing people off, and therefore, you should expect, by your logic, you should expect to be fucked with now. Do you see how that works? Do you see how you're fucking dumb and how you shouldn't be in charge of troops? How does your brain go from, hey, you know what? You said some things that I didn't like, so that means people get to hurt you. And not only do people get to hurt you, you should expect them to do that. Whew, what a dangerous world you must live in. How many times have you been smacked across the face by a sergeant major for saying something f***ing stupid? Is it zero? Is it f***ing zero? Then why don't you sit the f*** down and get the f*** out of my army, you piece of shit. And let's take this one all the way home with the full bird f***ing colonel. Everybody welcome Scott Stevens to the show. Boo, boo, Scott, no clapping, just boo. The death of Charlie Kirk in Utah was tragic. However, we can take comfort in the fact that Charlie was doing what he loved best. Spreading messages of hate, racism, homophobia, misogyny, transphobia on college campuses. It also allows us to see who in our lives supports those views. I would offer empathy, but Charlie hated empathy, as we have been told in the wake of so many other tragedies. We have to move on. We can't make this political. He spent years inciting political violence to die the victim of it. Tragic for sure. Certainly aren't going to argue that. But everyone shouldn't be shocked when the leopards actually eat your face. Oh my God, we shouldn't be shocked when somebody says words we disagree with and they die? That's the country that we've become? That's the country you want to live in? That's what you think is supporting the Constitution, defending it from all threats, foreign and internal? Seems like you're kind of a threat if you're all about people getting stabbed, shot, and beat up for words that they say. And really, please, tell me where Charlie incited violence. This is one of those things where I just see that you're dumb right away. Taking talking points from some talking head on CNN or MSNBC. Well, somebody said this one thing, so I'm going to take it at face value and not look up at all what they said. And then I'm going to say, well, you deserved it, don't be surprised when you end up dead because you said that, being a Christian is difficult and it's made your life a lot better and people should follow that because it worked so well for you. Oh, what a disgusting thing for him to say. Or that college is a ripoff because people are getting indoctrinated in college with left-leaning views, and that's ruining the country because now the education system is just pushing out people with one-sided views, which is segregated. And that's not good. We don't want segregation. Well, you know what I don't want? I don't want a full-bird colonel in charge of me who thinks that, hey, it's because you disagree with me, you deserve what you get when you get shot or stabbed on the street by some masked guy in a fucking Antifa outfit at a protest because you think that abortion is bad, and he's screaming, right to choice, as he stabs you in the neck. Now, I know that there are a lot more negative posts about Charlie, even from the military, and I just wanted to talk about these few. Now, I wasn't gonna bring up anybody that said, I disagree with him, or I don't like him, or some of the stuff that he said was bad. I specifically stuck with people that were siding with a terrorist act, an assassination, because of their political views. That's all I decided to do today. Because you're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to say that you didn't like Charlie. You're allowed to say that you disagreed with some of the things that he said. I know I have disagreed with some of the things that Charlie has said. But as Americans, what you don't get to do is celebrate the death of another American citizen because he spoke words. And because of those words that he spoke, somebody got so upset that they shot them in front of a crowd while he was sitting in a chair just talking. Because here's the thing that you don't understand, people who are supporting this. If anybody can get shot because you disagree with them, we are all going to live in a horrible country where political massacres occur weekly. So on that note, hug your family members, pray for wisdom, which so many people lack nowadays, to the point that they'll jump on TikTok and start dancing over the death of another American. Best way to support the channel is get yourself a shirt. It's Halloween. It's fucking spooky season, that's for sure. Because you know what's fucking scary? Is Americans jumping up and down and being excited for the political assassination of other people. That's what's scary. But hey, I've got some Halloween shirts that are up for sale for a little bit. They'll be down in October. You won't be able to get them anymore. Cheapest way to support the channel, and I hope that you do, is to leave a comment and tell me what you think. What do you think about these people that are celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk? Do you think that that's a part of their First Amendment, or do you think that that's crossing the First Amendment, you know, and going too far into the criminal space because you're supporting terrorism? Facebook was around during 9/11. You think the FBI would look into a bunch of people saying that all those New Yorkers deserve to die and they support Osama bin Laden? I mean, see you next time, weirdos.